Hi, everybody, and welcome to this core strengthening practice. This practice is safe for postpartum recovery, but for everyone actually that wants to rebuild core strength. So we are going to focus on the deep core system. So not only your abs, but actually your deep abdominal muscle, transversal abdominal muscle, your pelvic floor, your glutes, and your lower back, so that you can regain strength without strain. So let's get started. Grab your mat, connect to your body, listen to your breath, move at your own pace, and let's reconnect to our core together. So we are going to start in a seated position, cross-legged, if this is accessible for you. I'll always suggest to bring a cushion underneath your glutes in order to elevate your hips. And if this is too much for your hips or for your knee, you're always welcome to bring cushion underneath your knees to support your knees as well. If this is a position that you don't really feel comfortable with, we're not going to stay here long, but I want you to feel comfortable. Then you can always choose to sit like this. So in a kneeling position, and always have a cushion underneath your glutes. This helps you to open up a little bit more your groin area, which is actually very nice for what we are going to do now. So we're going to start by addressing the breath. So I invite you to bring your hands on your belly. Maybe you want to close your eyes or gaze down and just start connecting with your breath. Let your breath flow naturally into your body, into your nostrils, in and out. And then start observing the rise and fall of your belly underneath your hands. Inhaling, rising, and exhaling, falling. And by that, I mean that every time you inhale through your nostril, you might observe your belly inflating outward, expanding. And then as you exhale, the belly slowly goes back towards your spine. Just keep observing for a moment this movement of your belly. An expansion as you inhale, and then a relaxation towards the back of your body as you exhale. And just stay here for a couple of rounds, following your own rhythm. And now we are going to move in up to the rib cage. So we are going to bring our hand and actually the thumb and the index finger just on the side of the rib cage, more or less at the height of your lower ribs. And then from here, we're going to do the same movement, but then now focusing on the rib cage. So inhaling and expanding the rib cage to the side. And as you exhale, the rib cage goes back towards the center of the body. And see if you can keep this movement quite natural, so without forcing it. Maybe you don't notice that much of a movement, but that's okay. And also see if you can keep your shoulders down. So it's not a movement of the shoulders like this, but it's more only expanding the rib cage while keeping the shoulders down and relaxed. So inhaling, expanding to the side, towards your hands. And then as you exhale, the rib cage goes to the center of the body and the belly button goes towards the spine. Inhaling, expanding, and exhaling, relaxing and bringing the belly button towards the spine. And as you do this movement, you might start noticing that when you exhale and gently send the belly button towards the spine. The deep core muscle here, the transversal abdominal muscle, starts to contract. That's a very good sign. So inhaling, expanding the rib cage, expanding the belly, and then as you exhale, everything goes in, the belly button in, and there you can feel here the deep core muscle contracting. 2 more times, inhaling, expanding, and then exhaling, bringing everything here, and then belly button in, and deep transversal muscle contracting. And last time, inhaling, and then exhaling, bring everything here. It's like you're wrapping the core, the center of your body together. Okay, so this is the kind of breath that we want to keep during the whole practice. Okay, now we're gonna move. We can remove the cushion and we're gonna move to hands and knees. And I suggest always to have your blanket underneath your knees for support. You can unfold it as many times as you feel comfortable for your knee, to protect your knees. So we're gonna move on hands and knees. Make sure that your wrists are aligned with your shoulders and your knees with your hips. Now from here, I first want to reconnect again with your rib cage breathing, so what we practiced before. So make sure that your spine is neutral, that you have a natural curvature of your spine from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And then inhaling, expanding the rib cage to the side. And as you exhale, then bring everything together towards the center of your body. Inhaling, expanding the rib cage. And exhaling, release, and then start to contract your deep abdominal muscle. And you may want to start also attune with your pelvic floor muscle. So inhaling, expanding, and exhaling, contracting the transversal abdominal and the pelvic floor muscle. It's almost like you want to hold your pee. Inhaling, expanding, and exhaling. Bring the belly button towards the spine, pelvic floor muscle contracting, holding your pee. Inhaling, expanding. And exhaling, bringing everything towards the center. Okay, and now from here, we're gonna inhale one more time, expanding the rib cage. And then as you exhale and contract your abs and your pelvic floor, you might start to rise one leg, extending one leg behind. And then inhaling back to center and exhaling, moving with the other leg. Inhaling back to center and exhaling, alternating leg at each time. You want to keep your hips squared as much as possible, and that is a sign that you are moving with the strength of your core, your deep abdominal muscle, your pelvic floor muscle, and your glutes as well. And you keep going here, or if you like a challenge and if it feels right for you today, then you can add also the arm. And we're gonna raise one leg and then the opposite arm as well. On the exhalation always. And then inhaling, going down, and then exhaling, first the leg and then the arm follow. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling back to the ground and exhaling, extending legs and opposite arm, keeping your core strong, your hips squared, and a natural curvature in your spine. Inhaling 2 more times on each side. And last time. And back to center. Now we're gonna sit towards the heel, and now we're gonna move to the side. So in a kneeling position, now we're gonna stretch one leg to the side, and then inhaling, bringing the arm up, and exhaling for a side stretch here. And also here, it doesn't look like, but abdominal muscles are working to keep the posture in place. And then exhaling here, and now inhaling, and then exhaling, bringing the arms forward and sit back, not all the way, just a little squat here. And then inhaling back and exhaling here. So we're gonna do this now more dynamically, moving with the breath. So inhaling, side stretch, and exhaling, moving towards the back with your glutes, with your hips. Inhaling, side stretch, and exhaling, sitting back with your glutes. So you might feel it in your quads, in your abs, and in your glutes as well. So see if you can keep the movement slow, because the more you slow down the movement, the more you have to control your muscle. Or your muscle has to control the movement, right? And one more time. Inhaling, side stretch, and then exhaling. Okay. Then back to center, and we're gonna move to the other side. Always keep the blanket underneath your knee for support. So extending the leg, and now inhaling up and down, side stretch. And then as you exhale, you squat back. Inhaling, side stretch. And exhaling down. It might be that you feel one side different than the other side. Maybe you feel a little bit more compression on one side. Or maybe you feel that as you squat down, the quad and the glute on this side are a little bit weaker. That's also very normal. We are mostly asymmetrical. And just explore for yourself, right? What are the differences? Maybe you can learn something new today about your body. And last time. Okay, and then back to center. Now we're gonna move into a laying down position on your back. Now we're gonna use the blanket as support for our head, like this. And then you can grab again your pillow or your cushion. And we're gonna lay down safely, moving to one side first and then roll on your back. And then we're gonna bring the cushion or the pillow, whatever you have, between your legs, like this. Okay, the feet are hip distance apart, and then just adjust the position of your feet in such a way that your lower back feels safe. So it's not too rounded like this, but also like if you move them too far, then you might have the lower back will be too flat on the floor. So you want to keep a position of the feet where the lower back feels safe and there is a natural curvature in your lower back. Okay. Now you can bring your hands on your lower belly, right where you feel that the hip bones there. There is a very nice spot to feel the contraction of your deep transversal muscle. So we're gonna be here, inhaling again, inflating the belly and expanding the rib cage. And then as you exhale, you want to press the feet on the ground, squeeze the cushion and flatten your lower back towards the ground. And here you can really feel now the contraction of the deep abdominal muscle. So inhaling, releasing, expanding. And then as you exhale, press the feet, squeeze the cushion, and just send the lower backs towards the ground. Inhaling, softening, expanding. And exhaling, pressing the feet, squeezing the cushion and lower back towards the mat. Make sure that your chin is slightly towards your chest so that the neck is long and you can breathe. The flow of the breath can go in and out of your nostril very easily. And exhaling. Just follow your own breath. Inhaling, expanding. And exhaling, pressing, squeezing, and contracting. 2 more times at your own pace. And then exhaling. And again, if you feel like, you can also connect again with your pelvic floor muscle. It's a muscle that it's very not easy to connect to, but if you think about when you're holding your pee, then you should be able to listen to that sensation again. It's almost like a lift that you have again at the bottom of your upper body. Okay, now we come back to a neutral position of the spine. Adjust your position if you have to, and then you can release your arms on your side. Now we're going to move into bridge, and we are going to keep the cushion because this helps really to connect also to to keep the core engaged actually. So it keeps our legs hip distance, so we don't allow the knee to fall apart because we have to keep the cushion in between. So we're going to inhale here. And then as you exhale, now press the feet and squeeze the cushion and send the hips up like this. Inhaling down again. And exhaling up. Inhaling down. And move again very slowly. So it helps really to connect to the sensation, to the muscle working. And you also make sure that you are doing it properly. If you rush the movement, you are most likely not engaging the right muscles. Maybe you're just using your joint to support the movement. But actually you want to be sure that your glutes, your pelvic floor, your abs, your quads are all working to support the movement. And exhaling up again. Let's do it one more time. Inhaling here and exhaling, going up. Now you're going to hold it for 5 breaths here. Probably your muscle of the legs will start shaking, or maybe not. If you feel like that you have to get out of the pose, please do so. Just listen to your breath. If you can breathe easily, then it's safe to be here. You don't want to hold your breath. You want to keep breathing in this posture. One last round. And then slowly release down. Now take a moment here to go back to your natural breath. Now I invite you to think about something that you want to let go of today. It can be a worry, it can be a thought, it can be a sensation. It can be a task, something that you want to not really get rid of, but that you're ready to let it go. Something that is no longer serving you. Maybe you've been holding onto it for too long now. And maybe you are ready to release it today. So visualize that one thing. And then imagine that sensation, feeling, emotion, worry, or task, or whatever it is that you might have thought about, is the cushion that you have between your legs. And I invite you to take a deep breath in into your nostrils. And then as you exhale, open your legs and let that thing go. Okay. Stay here a moment with those sensations of having unload yourself of something that was weighing on you for too long, probably. And now you can move the cushion on your side. We don't need it for the last exercise. Now we're gonna move the legs in this position, so with the shins parallel to the floor, and we can start tapping the toes into the ground, one leg at a time. So inhaling here and exhaling tap. Inhaling here and exhaling tap the other leg. Inhaling here, and let's continue like this, alternating the legs. Make sure that every time you tap the toes, it's on the exhalation. These help with engaging the core while doing the movement. And you can stay here if you like to challenge yourself slightly more today, because that's what your body is ready for today. Then you can extend one leg and alternate like this. Exhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, like a bicycle. So you can choose the form that feels right for you today. And it's not about, pushing yourself. It's about listening to yourself, because both forms are really great. And if you feel like that you can go a bit farther today, then you go. And otherwise, please stay where you feel more safe and comfortable. And last one on each side. And now send the knees towards your chest. Maybe rock side to side. Giving your back a very nice massage. And then extending your legs and extending your arms overhead for a big body stretch. Okay. And then turn on your side. You can push yourself up to a seated position. And I actually recommend for you to allow yourself to have a 10 minutes of Shavasana, or just, laying down and breathe. And yeah, thank you for practicing with me today. As the lotus unfolds from the mud, may you rise one breath at a time. Thank you.